Hello everyone, this is Jeannie Ellis, also known as Scrapbooking Mama. I want to share with you a new product, a new thin cuts by close to my heart, which I'm a demonstrator of, and it's called a card front spinner. It has instructions on how you put it together, which is really good, because I always need that. And it's got 3 plates. This one you cut out twice, and then you need, you may not need a scissors, but sometimes I do, and so get my trimmer out. You'll need a pencil, a ruler, 3D squares. You'll also need, for your paper, you'll need a white or whatever color you want to use. I use a light gray. It's 4 by 5 1/4. Then I used the yellow cardstock, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I did designer series paper at 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. And then your card base, which is 9 by 5 3/4. I'm going to be using different stamp sets. I've got the Say in Style that I'm going to be using a few of the words in it. And I'm going to be using the stamp of the month, which is called Cherishing Her, which is a March stamp of the month. And I am going to be using the, let's see what it's called, You Make Me Happy, Operation Smile. So anyway, I'm going to be using some of those stamps on each one. So the first thing you do, of course, is that you're going to cut out your pieces, which I've already done. And then in this die that you cut out, there's little vertical tick marks. Those are your measurement guides, and you'll see what I mean here. Let's see if I can get my, so that way you get your stamps in the right place. And what you do is take your ruler, find one of your tick marks, and go right from that point to the one right across from it, and draw you a light line, not heavy at all, because you don't want to, it doesn't have to be heavy. And then find your next tick mark and the one across from it, same thing. And then find your other one. So you're going to do 3 lines is what you're doing that cross each other. And those will be erased later. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the sentiments that I want. They're just simple sentiments. And it's kind of a generic card. It's a thinking of you card. And I want to get my stamping platform. My mat moves on me. I probably thinking about taping it down or somehow, or just not use it. Okay. Now these can be any color ink that you want to be. I think a colorful ink would be pretty, to be honest. So I did discover if I put these magnets too close, then the stamp doesn't work very well. So we're going to go ahead and try it. This one is Sending Hugs, and it should fit right in there. And you want all the letters to be the right direction. So this one's going to the top. You got to imagine it being wheeled around. So each one is going to go where the top of the stamp goes to the top of the piece here. Okay, now I have the sentiments on here and ready to go. And for this, I'm going to use the Sapphire Exclusive Inks, which is a water-based dye, but it inks really, really well, provided I have the stamps on are good. So the next thing that you want to do is to erase your lines so they won't show on the other side. That's why you draw them in lightly. And then you take a brad, place it inside here, take one disc in there, and then the other disc on the other side, close it up, okay, I'm going to try to pull this out just a little bit. Alright, okay, so I've got the circle done, and now the next step is to stamp this. So I'm using this Bluebird stamp, and I am stamping this in blue. All of it is in blue. See if I did that okay. So what I like about the platforms is that if you don't get it all you gotta do is ink it up again. And my hello didn't come out at all. So let's see if we can move this down here. Okay, so those are stamped, and I don't necessarily have to do any inking or coloring to that piece there unless I want to, but because it's in a blue I may just leave it. So I'm going to set this aside, and I think to me it looks like it needs something over on the other side, and I got a little bit ink there, but what you can do with that is use a gel pen and a roller gel pen and lightly touch that up, and it'll be just fine. Let's see, what else do I want on there? Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And this piece is stamped, and here's where the other pieces come in now. Now you may think, well, how's it going to turn with the brad on it and it's going to be flat against it? Well, it's not going to be flat against it. What you do is take foam tape, foam squares, whatever you want, and put on the front and some on the back. And then take off the protective covering. And I like to, there's lines, dotted lines up here that separate everything. I like to line up the dotted line with the top piece of this. And I got ink on my fingers. So we can put it in any direction and you'll see why as far as that goes. Okay, now what I like to do, of course this is what you're supposed to do next, is take your base card and you want to put foam squares around the corners too, because I found out that when I did it without the corners, just put tape on this side, they kept moving on me. Now it might not if I do this. If I go ahead, let's experiment here. Save on foam tape if possible. If I go ahead and mount these pieces. If I put this on here, I want to line it up with that as much as possible. I probably didn't even need to put that on there because it's covered up. Well, no, there's a piece there. And I do want to put some foam squares around because see how that moves? and we don't want that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the foam squares on each corner. Okay, and then we want to put it onto our card base, which the card base, because of the measurements, is going to fit right on top of that. So I can use whatever type of adhesive I want. I can use liquid or tape runner, anything. It doesn't really matter as long as I get it on there and it's on there good. And don't put it on upside down. I have done that. My goodness, sometimes it's a booger. Okay, now you have a spinner card, and you can go different directions. Hello, wonderful. You make everything better. Hello, enjoy. Hello, sending hugs. Hello, friend. Hello, with love. Hello, sweet. There we go. And that really is a lot easier than probably what I made it look like. So anyway, I may or may not color this. I like the blue colors, so I probably won't color it. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.